Q? Say cheese.
What's going on, everybody? It's Q Jackson, host of BLK Talk. Look, I was over here preparing for another amazing episode, but look, I need you guys to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell so that you guys don't miss any of our amazing conversations. Have a new episode coming to you in 5, 4, 3, 2. What's going on, everybody? It's Q Jackson, host of BLK Talk. And we're back with, yes, another amazing episode and another amazing guest. If you guys have been tuning in to NBC every week, then this is a face and a voice that you all would know. I'd like you guys to welcome to BLK Talk, Ronnie Wilson.
Hello, hello.
Cue for applause. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited about this interview. I am excited to hear about your journey.
Yeah.
Like a little boy from South Carolina who has made it on literally the world stage.
Yeah, I have.
You know, people are looking at you. People have heard you. People have been changed by your voice.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely get into that. But let's start with who you are. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Who am I? I mean, like you said, I'm from a small town in South Carolina, Liberty, South Carolina. Grew up in the church, raised on a farm. Most people don't. If you
Like
look
a
at
real
me,
farm.
a farm.
Wow.
By the time I was born, we just had some cows. But back in the day, they had like chickens, cows, horses.
Oh, so this was like the family.
It's the family land. And
Wow.
we still have the land in our family. My grandmother lives there. A couple of her siblings live there now. Like, we still have that land in the family and everything. Just not as many animals. The cows are still there because we always have the cows. But grew up, every morning it was my job to give the cows water every single day. If they got out of the pasture, we had to, reel them back in, all the things.
Did you ever milk cows?
No.
Oh, so
Luckily
you
not.
didn't get the real experience.
I didn't
though.
milk the cows. Like, my mother, her cousins, that generation, they had to. But I guess by the time I was born, had a little bit more money in the pockets. Didn't have to milk the
So they have
cows.
to
We
do
could
it
go
right.
we go to the store and buy the milk by then.
Okay.
But they were still there.
But you still have those down home country values.
Definitely.
Now,
Yeah.
being from South Carolina, what are some of the things that were instilled in you that you still live with today?
Oh, so many. The importance of family. Church is big. The church I grew up in is literally down the street from where I grew up. So a lot of times in the summertime, we would just walk back and forth to church. And then every Sunday after church, we'd all gather at my grandmother's house for a big family dinner every single Sunday. They still do it now. I've moved away, but when I am free, if I'm in town, I do make sure that I go. That's one of the big things, is to keep God first and family over everything.
Now, how often do you try to get home?
They see me once a month now.
Okay.
I would say about once a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you said the church is
Yes.
definitely a major part of your life.
It is.
Now, as we know, most major singers that have received those Grammys, they get one day, most of them started off in the church.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about your church experience and how it inspired you and encouraged you to be who you are.
Yeah. So I've been singing in the church as long as I can remember. My mother was the youth choir director. So as soon as I could make a noise, it was, here's a microphone, have at it. So the first solo I can remember singing is His Eyes on the Sparrow, probably around 4 or 5 if I had to guess. I'm actually not sure, but I know I was super young. So just every single Sunday, church, every Saturday choir rehearsal, every Sunday going to church. All my life, K through 12, even when I got to college, because that was so instilled in me, I quickly found a church, joined their choir, was still singing every Sunday. Even now, I'm still singing every Sunday that I can at the church that I go to here. So, it just really has instilled in me the importance of keeping God first. And I think because I have done that, He's opened so many doors for me, and He will continue to open so many doors for me. And I'm just trying to, make sure I'm in the right space that I can walk through those doors as they open.
Yes. So you've been singing for a nice little chunk of your life.
Yeah.
And that has gotten you to where you are today. A contestant on NBC's The Voice, season 25. Season 25. So that's going to go down in history as something important, because 25 years of anything is amazing. So let's talk about your journey to get there.
Okay.
Every day you wake up, you go to your your career.
Yes, my accounting job.
Yes, your accounting career.
Yeah.
But one day you probably was sitting there, finished up your work, because you know he does his work.
I do my work. I do it well.
Right. And but I'm pretty sure, you know, as most of us do, we're sitting there Googling stuff, just on the computer wasting time.
Right.
Maybe that's not him, because, you know, he does his work.
Yeah.
But getting to the place where you got the opportunity to audition for The Voice, where did that come from?
So I actually received a DM from one of the producers.
Oh, they hit you up.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Well. So I can't remember if it was on TikTok or Instagram, but I post videos regularly on both. But I received a DM, was like, hey, we think you'd be great for The Voice. Have you ever thought about auditioning? At that point, it hadn't really crossed my mind, but what better time than now? I'm like, sure, I have this job that I'm working that I don't really care for. I'm singing as much as I can anyway. Why not just audition? The worst they can say is no, and that's not going to change my life if they say no. So sure, I said, I'll audition. I went through that process, talked to them a few times, and then received the call that I'd been selected for season 25.
So the audition process to receiving the call, like typically how long is that?
I think it varies per person depending on like what season they contact you for. For me, it was a few months in between the time I received the initial DM to when I found out I was going to be on the show. It was a few months in between there.
Now, when you got that reach out and they said, you know, we want you to be a part of season 25. Like, where were you in that moment? Mentally, where were you physically, and how did things change, like, right after that?
Physically, I was at home. I was working my job when I got that message. But in that moment, I thought it was fake. Because I'm like, this is this is probably not real. Went to the profile. I'm like, oh, wait, maybe this is real after all. And so I just replied back like, hi, this is my email address, sure, or phone number, let's chat. Received a phone call, I think within minutes, talked about it. I've realized, this is a legit thing. They're like, yes, we're going to email you, just let us know. I'm like, oh okay. And I'm like, y'all found me? So yeah, she was going through, I'm pretty sure it was Instagram. She was going through Instagram, stumbled across one of my videos, and from there just like went down a rabbit hole of my other videos and thought I'd be a great fit for the show.
Okay. Now, from that point when you received that call, what did you think? Did you start thinking like, okay, what am I gonna wear? Did you start thinking about what you're gonna sing? Because if people can tell, you are a very fashionable person.
Am I?
Like, I mean,
this old thing,
I'm like, you're a very fashionable person. So what did you think about first? What you're gonna wear to present yourself on TV, or what you're gonna sing?
What I'm going to sing was the first thought.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, I have to choose a song that is true to me and the type of artist I want to be, but that also I can show off my vocal range, my vocal ability, and a song that I really think the coaches will love and want to, press their button and turn for.
Yeah.
And then, secondly came, okay, what am I going to wear? How is my hair going to be? What, all the things.
I mean, and boom, just in place.
It's together,
I mean, for real. So, okay. What the song that you ended up choosing? What made you choose that song?
Pillow Talk by Zayn. That's a song I've always wanted to sing it. I don't know why, I just haven't for whatever reason. And so when I thought of that song, I'm like, I wonder, could we make this work? Not in Zayn's original key, because I can sing high, but I was not going to risk trying to sing in that key on that particular stage. So I'm already going to be nervous. So let me try to make this easier for myself. So I brought the key down a little bit. But what really sold it is I felt as though I could connect to that song on a personal level and really sell it and make it my own. So like when I had the conversation with the band and I told them like, hey, I want to change the arrangement. I don't want to just sing it exactly how Zayn does it. Like, I want to strip it down in the beginning. I just want, like, the piano, maybe, like, a little bit of drums to slow it down in the beginning. Once we hit the chorus, like, full band, come in, back to the original tempo. And they accepted all of my notes. We applied it. Everybody liked how it sounded. And I felt as though I was really able to put my emotions into it. And so, Pillow Talk it was.
See, with something like that, just that brief explanation of why you chose that song, that's what makes you an artist, not just someone who sings. Okay, because for someone to have the skill to take someone's song and make it their own, that's artistry. Okay, now if people have not told you, which I'm pretty sure they have, like, you are a real true artist, and you made that song your own, and you got the spins, you got the spins. They hit the, like, how did that feel? First of all, the first one, like, as you're singing, and then you get
John Legend was first.
Boom.
Is this real? Is this really happening in this moment?
Like, how can you, like, I mean, are you maintaining your...
I had to. It was like, okay, you have to finish this song. In my mind, it's just like, oh, a chair turned. Even before it registered who had turned, I realized a chair turned, which means I'm automatically on the show, regardless of who turns. Yeah. So it's like, oh my goodness, somebody turned. I could like see it in my peripheral vision. I'm like, okay, somebody turned. And then I finally made my way back to see who it was, and I saw it was John Legend. I'm just like, oh, okay. I still... Like, I still have to go internally freaking out. Like, wanted to scream, jump, yell, all the things. So I'm like, okay, stay in this moment. So I like acknowledged him and like quickly looked away. So I'm like, I don't want to like get caught up in the fact that he turned around. Like, I still need to finish this song and give it my all. But it was... wow. And then in the video or the audition tape, I can see like my mom and my cousin are back there like jumping up and down. Which they told me they were, but obviously I didn't see that from the stage. But how they were jumping up and down, that's what I was doing internally. Yes,
Ronnie
internally.
Now, then you get the second one.
Oh, yes, Reba.
The country music queen, been in the game 50 years. Yeah. Did she offer you some chicken?
She did offer me some chicken. She did.
That is the funniest thing ever. But how did that feel? Like, to see that, like, now with a John Legend, like, that's someone who is kind of, you know, same as you, like, from the church, you know, very soulful singing. But then you have Reba McEntire,
the queen of country
here, you know, who's been in the game for years, doesn't necessarily look like you, but you know, is somebody that is an artist herself and somebody that respects artists. That's like, how did that feel to see, you know, Reba bust that turn and offer you some chicken? Respect.
The chicken. The respect is the word. Like, when I saw her turn and I was able to acknowledge it, I'm like, okay, I'm not a country artist. I'm like, but she hears something in me that she respects, that she likes. That I'm like, okay, this is validation from Reba. Like, oh, she really thinks I can sing, you know? And then just the look on her face, like, she says, wow, as she's turning around. It's the look on her face. It's just like, this is Reba?
Yeah.
Right? The Reba McEntire? Right
now,
in front of
prior to, like, the show, had you known about Reba? Like, the show back in the day?
Oh, prior to her show? No, her show, like the Reba, her talk, or not talk show, but her
the sitcom.
Yes, her sitcom. That was my introduction to Reba.
Yeah, okay.
But after I found out, like, she's actually a singer too, I then started doing my research. I'm like, oh, and that's her singing the intro song. Okay.
Of her own song. Yeah. And you know what? Now that I think of it, this doesn't really matter, but yes, it matters. Because you're an artist. Now, we talk about artists who have the skills to take other people's songs and make it their own.
Right.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with the song On My Own by Michael McDonald and Patti LaBelle.
Have I heard
from the 80s? If you hear it, you'll know.
I've probably heard it.
You'll know the song.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. As I was doing my research on Reba, like, years ago, well, it wasn't research, it was COVID.
Okay.
And I was forced to, like, go to YouTube University.
Yes, all of us were.
I was just watching videos. That's when I learned to respect Dionne Warwick much more than I had in the past, because I started to see that all of these songs that Luther Vandross and Aretha Franklin and all these artists had made famous were all covers of hers. Yes. And Reba and a few of the other ladies in the country music industry had took that Michael McDonald, Patti LaBelle song and turned it into something completely different. But they made it their own. Yeah. I'll let you listen to it once.
Y'all have to, for sure.
Or, guys, I'll go ahead and post it down in the comments below.
Even better.
Yeah. But, I don't know why I was saying that. I just felt the need to say that.
But making songs your own.
Yeah. You know, she made it her own. You've made something your own. Not, is this a song that you're going to record? Because you've done it on such a, you know, national level.
thought about it, and some of the other contestants have recorded like their blind audition song and releases, so it is something I've thought about. I just need to find someone who can make that arrangement for me. But yeah, I might. Would you want to hear it?
I mean, you
Record
should.
it? Yeah.
I mean, we've heard it. We've already heard it.
That was a 90-second snippet though, compared to
give us the whole thing. I want to perform like when you start performing in Atlanta and around. Like people are probably gonna want to hear this song. So you might as well go ahead and
record it.
And record it.
That's true.
Exactly. Now you have artists that are on this national platform that are looking at you, that want your skills, and in a sense they're fighting for you.
Yeah.
You know, how did that feel? You're looking over here, you got this one. You're looking over there, you got that one. It's chicken, is jackets. It's like, how does that feel? How did you make the choice to say, all right, I want the jacket?
So going into it, I would have been happy with any of the coaches. Like I just need one to turn around. I would have been happy with either. But they did ask me my top two. My top two, well, my mother asked me my top two, and it was Reba and John Legend.
Oh wow.
Those are my top two.
Okay.
So the fact that those are the two that turned around, I was just like, did I speak this up? Like I told my mother, like, these are the two that I would want to, I would be happy with. And there was other two that turned around. So, I mean, it was very difficult in that moment. And then not just being in front of them, but realizing the cameras are on you, all these things. I have to make this decision that will direct, my path on the show, Listening to both of them, what really ended up selling me was mainly a couple of reasons. One, John being like the first one to turn around. I know that kind of doesn't matter, but to me that matters. I'm like, okay, he heard something pretty early on that he like, okay, I don't need to hear the full song. Like I just heard whatever in these first 30 seconds that he's going to be somebody, So the fact that he turned around first, the connection and the way he was looking at me, like he stands up, he starts rocking back and forth, his little run that he hit, all the things, I really felt as though he really connected with my performance, And then you have Reba, which again, I felt such respect coming from her to me, Then she pulls out her phone, she's calling up Keith Urban, asking him, what should she do? And I'm like, ooh, she's pulling. That's a trick card right there, because I love Keith Urban. I love his wife. I'm like, I love country music. I'm like, oh my goodness, she's really making this tough. But ultimately, I did go with John Legend just because I just felt we had more of a connection. Even like the church background, finding out he used to work as an accountant like I am doing.
Did not know.
Yes.
Did not know John.
He used to work as an accountant. He said some of his songs, I think from his first album or some of his first like recorded music he wrote like while sitting at his desk. He shared that with me.
Wow.
So
and
like,
John's kind of from a fairly small town as well ish. So y'all did have a lot of similarities. So when you decided to go ahead and take the legend jacket.
The jackets.
How do you think mentally things change for you, and as an artist, the things that you would start to learn after that?
Mentally, I've always taken singing seriously, but in that moment, I'm like, okay, I'm not just accountant by day, singer by night. Like, no, I am the artist. Yeah. Ronnie Wilson. Yeah. In this moment, fully operating in that, fully walking into it. So I think I just had to like make that switch in my brain, so to speak, and just fully realize like, no, this is happening. All of your focus and attention needs to go on this right now. And so that's what I did.
So what did you learn like throughout your time on The Voice? Like, what are some of the things that you learned that you'll take into your artistry as you continue to grow?
So many things. One is how to connect with an audience more, how to connect with a song more, making it my own, but still keeping some of the original elements from the original songs. You don't want to just redo the entire song and make the original artist feel like, oh, you just didn't like anything that I did. Like, you completely switched it up. Like, no, so still keeping some of those elements true to the song, but still making it your own without doing too much. Because too much can backfire at times. I think so. It can.
If not enough of you is present. If you're trying to do too much and prove too much, then you're absolutely correct.
Yes.
Now, what are some other songs, if you could pick 3 songs. I was gonna say 5, but I'm gonna give you 3.
Thank you.
Easy, that you would, if given the chance, you would redo.
Ooh, something by Adele for sure. I love Adele.
Okay.
Probably All I Ask by Adele. I'm Not Touching Someone Like You. That is perfect as is.
Yeah.
I do not need to. 3 songs. That one for sure. All Night by Beyonce. It's from the Lemonade album.
Mm-hmm.
Love All Night. And then the 3rd song I would want to redo.
Now, while you think about that, that's a bold statement because today nobody has really remade like Beyonce music.
They
so.
don't, and that's such like a deep cut in a way. I feel like not too, unless you're a true fan, not too many people really paid that song any attention.
Mm-hmm.
But All Night is easily in my top 5 Beyonce songs of all time.
Okay.
Easily. A 3rd song. I don't know why I'm struggling so hard. There's so many I would want to do, but to just pick 3.
Now there are some songs that you play every single day.
Right now it's all Cowboy Carter songs. To be honest, it's all Cowboy Carter right now. A 3rd song I would want to redo. I guess I'm taking it back because I do have country roots, love country music. Bless the Broken Road, Rascal Flatts. Yeah.
Okay, have not heard that, but I will be listening to it.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Rascal
why that
Flatts.
song?
It's first of all, it's beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous song.
Let me write that down.
It's yes. God Bless the Broken Road that led me straight to you. It's like a love song. It's I love singing about love. All the things.
So if I gave you a scenario, because I got a couple of scenarios in there,
Okay.
are you able to write
what I'm
giving?
No,
not on the spot.
Oh, I'm like, woo!
I'll give you a little time.
Freestyle. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we might have to do that
For
because
sure,
I got a book of feelings. It's called a journal.
Okay. Yeah.
And I might have to share that with you, and we'll see.
Yeah.
What those songs sound like.
Yeah.
All right, now back to you.
Okay.
Back to the voice. When I Was Your Man.
Yes.
Oh, buddy.
Bruno
Now,
Mars.
over the years,
Mhm.
I've watched The Voice, full seasons. I've watched The Voice some seasons. I might have caught like little clips here and there on social media. But the clip with you and that duet, like that was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And it kind of pissed me off because it's like, damn, God, where's my voice? Like, like I might want to do some stuff like that, but like that was absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Like, so how did that happen? How did you guys, figure out how to sync up your voices and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so I mean that was him and I did that completely. They gave us the song. They told us the 90 seconds of the song they wanted us to sing, but as far as the split, who sings what part, all of that, it was up to us. So we went into it. He looked at it, I looked at it, we kind of looked at it on our own at first, then we came together, and I was just like, so how about you start here? We're like, okay, great, so you want to do the next 2 lines? Sure, I'll do the next 2. Kind of like bouncing off each other, which lines we wanted to do. As long as it was even, that's all we cared about. And then we started practicing it and singing it. I came up with all the harmonies. Harmonizing, that's like my thing.
Okay.
When it comes to harmonies, and the reason I think I'm so good at harmonies is because of my gospel background and country music. Like they are heavy in harmonies. So we came with all the harmonies and the splits and, went from there.
Now, do you guys still keep in touch?
We do.
Another thing that I've always wondered, okay, the show, it goes on for weeks.
Yes.
For weeks.
Yes.
But like your time on the show, how long was that? Like in real time?
I don't know if I can say that.
Oh. Okay. We're going to go ahead and take a commercial break real quick so I can find that out. But no, I really want to know that. But yeah, well.
I'll tell you offline. I don't know if I can share that. I can say offline though.
Okay. Well, yeah. So anyway, your entire experience.
Yes.
Starting the audition process to where you are now. Like it has to be, you have to be sitting in a place of like extreme gratitude.
Absolutely.
Because like that's an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And I know your life is going to change because you're gonna do what you have to do and get to that level
God
where
willing.
that is just a stepping stone in your journey of greatness. So what do you feel that you've learned about yourself?
Mm.
And, we're going to go with you first. What have you learned about yourself throughout those weeks on the show?
I do well under pressure.
Mm.
Better than I think I would.
Okay.
I do well under pressure, and I can sing better than I thought. Not better than I thought I could, but all my life I've had moments of self-doubt when it comes to singing. Like, okay, maybe I shouldn't post this cover. People getting tired of hearing me like, oh, nothing's blown up yet. Why am I still doing this? But that showed me like, oh no, you have it. You have what it takes. You just need to continue being consistent. Something will blow up eventually. Just keep doing it because you have the gift. You just need to continue to put it out there. So yeah, I learned that I have what it takes. I just need to do it and walk in it.
Now, is there anything that you've learned about the industry, the entertainment industry, not like necessarily the recording industry, because you still have a lot of time to experience that.
Right.
But like being in front of those cameras, being in front of the, cut or, different things like that. Like, what have you learned about the industry?
Be yourself. Honestly, don't try to be anybody else because you can read right through that. Be yourself. Show up authentically you at all times, and really make connections. You never know who that person is beside you, who they know, what they can do. It might be the best writer on this planet, and you would never know. Just make that connection.
Yeah.
Be nice to people. It goes so far, from the cameramen to the producers to the assist. Like, just be nice to people.
So I'm assuming the person that you're presenting now, the person that you were presenting then,
yes,
like you're that person all the time.
That's
like
me.
you're not a nasty diva.
No, no. I may dress that way, but not at all.
Now, speaking of showing up authentically, now today when you walked up, I'm like, okay, cool, we good. And then he pulls out. I'm just like, what is going on? Like, do I need to go change? Do I need to fluff it up or something? Like, when did you get to that place where you were confident enough to show up as you, every part of you, everywhere you go?
That did not happen until college, probably my sophomore semester is probably when it first started. And then fully walking into whatever I want to do, where be, probably happened after I graduated college for sure. I was living in Minnesota, in the Midwest. Minnesota.
Cold Minnesota.
Minnesota.
What part?
Minneapolis.
Oh, I lived there for 30 days. It was
30 days?
I was
goodness.
in flight attendant training.
Okay.
So that's why I was up there. And then I went back a couple months later and I'm like, why is it negative 1 degree?
Because it was winter.
It's
we were there.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's not the best. I was there for 2 years. I call it my 2-year sentence.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot about myself while I was there.
Did you visit Prince's house?
I did not. I drove by it.
Well, that's probably where you were inspired to. A little bit of Prince jumped out on you while you were there.
Part of it. But I think, honestly, too, just me being so far away from, like, anybody who knew me for real, I could really just fully be who I wanted to be. I'm like, I don't know anybody here. Nobody can say anything to me. Let me just explore, have fun, and, here we are now.
So how do you define your style?
Oh, it doesn't have a name to it. It's whatever I see that I like.
You know what? There was one day, it might have been your birthday. Like, I was scrolling Twitter, and I'm like, oh, damn. Now,
was it white?
Mind you, hold on. Yes. because during this time, the color purple, they were doing all of the,
I know where this is going.
press and promo. And I said, damn, Fantasia looks good. And I stopped. I said, oh, no. That's not Fantasia, that's Ronnie. And I'm like, it was like the most beautiful, perfect outfit ever. Like, that was confidence in that picture.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was. Like, where do you get your fashions from?
That outfit, I remember maybe over the summer, like some AI pictures had gone viral of like these men in these like bridal type outfits, but it was like, it wasn't quite bridal, but like wedding stuff, but it was it mixed like male attributes like with female aspect. It's a mixture of both. And I remember thinking like, whenever I get married, I want to wear something like this. Like, I want a long cape, I want all the things. And for some reason, my 29th birthday photo shoot. One of my friends prior to that, he just mentioned how I've like blossomed so much during my like 28th year, and he saw like such a big change in who I was coming into 28 versus who I was leaving 28. And something about that, I just felt like almost like a rebirth had taken place in a way. And I'm just like, I want to wear white. I don't know why. I just really want to wear white. And then I thought, oh, let me just remake kind of one of those pictures that I saw over the summer. And so I got this piece from there, this piece from there, this from there. I'm like, we're just going to throw it together, see what works. And it came together.
I think like moving forward, and this is not to tell your publicist what they're doing, but like that picture right there needs to be the picture that is in people's emails when they are pitching you, because it stands out. Like I said, it is a picture that epitomizes confidence, creativity. Now, if you put a microphone and a microphone stand in front of that, like you'll see the artist.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of people thought I was Fantasia. I've gotten that ever since she's been on Idol. Ever since.
Now, when you meet her, because I know you're going to.
I'm going to.
And you guys actually, like, y'all kind of, I would say you do kind of resemble a little bit. Like, y'all have the same complexion, like the music, the church, like the everything. Like, how are you going to feel when you meet Fantasia?
In my mind, it's already my cousin. I will scream and holler because Fantasia is my favorite singer. Favorite, period. I can confidently say that. Favorite singer.
Now, you know what? I have a question. It's kind of based off of what we asked before, and another one in addition to that. If there is one Fantasia song that you can redo, hold on, with Fantasia, which song would that be?
With her? I have two, a top two.
Okay.
Either Collard Greens and Cornbread.
Why was I thinking about that song? I love that song.
I've always said it's going to be my wedding song. I love
Collard Greens and Cornbread is going to be the wedding song.
Because you better than my mama's Collard Greens and Cornbread.
I mean, y'all that's definitely going to have to be the reception song because you're going to have to dance. I think there's a line dance to that song.
I love line dances. Like,
okay.
Yes.
See, so Collard Greens and Cornbread. That's going to be
sure.
I'll be there. I'm definitely going to be there.
And then the second one, maybe Bittersweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Bittersweet is a good one. Okay. So we got Collard Greens and Cornbread.
Yes, and Bittersweet.
Which is the wedding. They're going to be the wedding song. And
with the line dance.
Bittersweet.
Yes.
See, I have to learn that line dance. Okay. So we got Fantasia. So if there's any other, so that could be number one.
Okay.
Two more artists that you would love to collaborate with.
Chloe Bailey from Chloe and Halle.
Okay.
Third would have to be back to Beyonce.
Now, which song with her would you? Not All Night, because All Night, that's going to be all you.
I know, yeah.
Now, if you could collaborate with Beyonce on one of her songs, what would it be?
Right now, in this very moment, it would have to be Two Most Wanted from Cowboy Carter. That's the song with her and Miley.
Okay.
That would have to be the one right now.
Now, which part would you take? Would you take Miley's part? Or
give me Miley's part. Miley's part all day, every day. Yeah, Miley's part for sure. That song is just, it's been on repeat the past week.
So you know all the words?
I know some of them.
So I'm going to tell you
of course.
There are 27 tracks
there are.
On that album. I know Jolene, and I only know the chorus to Jolene because Beyonce went and switched the damn words around. And it's not the Dolly Parton Jolene that we all know, but it has the same essence. So like we were saying, she was bold enough to do it and it worked for her. Because if you didn't realize that she changed the word, I didn't realize, I'm like, hold on now. Some of the things you're saying, I know Dolly was not saying back in
Dolly
73.
was begging Jolene not to. Beyonce said, you try it if you want to.
Exactly. That's exactly what you get from that version of Jolene. And Texas Hold'em. And that's only because I've heard the song so many times.
On TikTok and stuff.
But I'm just like, oh my God, there's so many songs.
So many.
But you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I love Beyonce's artistry. She's an amazing artist.
Yes.
But I've been on like Usher.
Okay.
Like he came out with Coming Home 2 months ago. And it took a little bit to kind of get through. Like that first half, I was just like, yeah, I don't know who you're doing this for, Usher. Maybe you're trying to prove something to those youngsters. But then we got to like that second half, and I said, oh yeah, this is for me.
Yeah.
This, and this. These songs are for me. So that's what I've been on.
Okay. Yeah.
So you said Cowboy Carter, like you play that all the time. Are there any other songs or artists that you throw into that playlist?
So I don't know if you've seen in my videos, I have like this picture in the back of my like studio area. Those artists on there, like pretty much what I listen to most often. So Beyonce, Tamar Braxton, Fantasia, Adele, and I'll throw Ariana Grande in the mix. She's not up there yet, but she is very popular on my playlist.
The oldest, not the oldest artist, but an artist from a different era that you listen to, who would that be?
Celine Dion.
Okay. Celine Dion is still fairly new. I'm thinking,
is she?
I'm thinking like 70s.
Okay, let me
80s.
go. Okay, we can go back. Recently, I've listened to a lot of Prince. I know we just talked about him, but I haven't listened to a lot of Prince as of late. Outside of him, old school.
Now I know that's something that Mama and Grandma used to play on Saturday mornings when you had to clean up the house.
Oh, it was nothing but gospel.
Really? Nothing secular.
It was nothing but gospel.
Oh.
I would hear secular stuff like on the radio, and then once I got like I don't know. Oh, and I have older brothers, so like when I was with them in their cars, it was nothing but rap and all types of stuff. But as far as like my parents in the house, it was all gospel. Besides like the radio, it would just be like whatever was popular then. But
so when did you start like on your own start listening to worldly music?
The very first CD I can remember. Who got it for me? I can't think of who got it. It was either my mom or like my cousin, my brother, somebody. But it was Sierra Goodies. It was like the first CD that like I had myself. But if we go back even further, the very first CD that I can remember ever like putting in the boombox to listen to was Destiny's Child, The Writings on the Wall.
Oh, that was
it was my brother's CD.
That was a good one.
But I can remember like getting it out and putting it in the boombox, pressing play, and just.
And that's where the love with Beyonce and the girls
started. I tell everybody, I've been there since 1997, day one. I have been a fan.
But you know what, though? A lot of people, although, we heard like the no, and the bugaboo and things like that, we knew of Destiny's Child, but we didn't fully know of Destiny's Child. Like, I don't think people really listen to full Destiny's Child albums until The Writings on the Wall. Because that came out in 99, I believe. But that first Destiny's Child album, I don't think a lot of people listen to.
No, not really.
But there's some good songs on there.
Yeah. I've since gone back.
Absolutely.
That time, no.
Now, speaking of going back,
yes.
If there are 3 artists who are no longer with us, who have gone on to glory, however, they have left an amazing legacy of music and artistry that the world could never forget. Who? No Whitney.
Oh.
No Prince.
Oh, you're taking 2 of my people
Michael.
already.
Because those are obvious. Like, we all want all them back.
You took 2 of my people.
Now you gotta pick 3 more.
What would I want them to do? Just come back and make music again?
Come back so that you can make music with them.
With them, okay. Give me some Aretha.
Good.
I need me some Aretha. Who else has passed away that I would want to bring back? Oh, I was ready to say Whitney and Prince too, because those are my.
I know.
Oh, there's been so many. Luther Vandross.
Yes.
Give me some Luther. Is there a pop person that has passed away I would want to make music with? There has to be.
I'll let you think of that.
I need to think of my third person.
But you mentioned that you love songs.
Yeah.
Now, there are certain artists out here that are good with love songs, but there are certain artists out here that are good with heartbreak songs.
I put them in the same category. I love it all.
Are you familiar with Phyllis Hyman?
I've heard.
Phyllis Hyman.
Yes.
Now, she was one of the artists that she passed away in 96.
Okay.
But she had been out since the 70s. And when I tell you her music like you feel every part of it.
Yeah.
Like certain artists,
Yeah.
they sing a song and you listen to the song, but there are certain artists that when you hear that song, you want to live every word that's in that song.
Yeah.
Like I was like 12 years old, like damn it, I need to get with somebody so I can break up so that this song matches my life. And to me, she's one of those artists that although she had 2 decades of greatness, she was on Broadway. She did soundtracks. She did a lot of things in her career.
Right.
I think that she didn't fully live up to what she could have.
Mm-hmm.
And her legacy, although it's there, it's not as big as it could have been.
Yeah.
Her, Gerald Levert,
Mm-hmm.
Even Luther.
Mm-hmm.
Where's our movie?
Where's
our Luther movie?
It should have been out now. Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
So
I
for
agree.
you, when you think of legacy,
Yeah.
like you're in your journey, but your journey in a way on that larger level is starting now.
Yes.
Like what does that look like for you aside from the music?
Mm-hmm.
Are there other things that people will eventually, and fashion obviously, what are some of the things that people are going to know you by?
Know me by I want to enter some acting too. A little bit of acting in the mix. Whether that be a movie, a television show,
Casting
Broadway.
directors, if you guys are paying attention.
Get at me. And outside of that, I just really want to be known as somebody who made a difference, who inspired other people. I'm very small town. Being a gay man, I just want more people to be like, oh, if he can do it, look at him. He's not letting that stop who he is or what he's becoming or where he's going. I hope that I can give that same energy to other people coming up.
You know what? In the next year or two, you need to be on Jennifer Hudson's show. I don't know why I'm sitting here and I see you two on that couch just
having a good
going
time.
Back and forth, just singing, just Effie White and Ronnie Wilson just going at it.
Ooh.
Now is Kelly Clarkson's show still on? Because that's another.
Kelly's is yes. Her karaoke, yes, it is.
That's what it's called, karaoke. See, I'm at work all the time, so I can't watch the shows and then I don't go back and watch
it's a Kelly
them.
Clarkson show, I think, but her singing portion is
karaoke.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see that for you.
Oh, I would love to.
So you said acting,
love to. Yeah.
Stage plays?
Yeah.
Have you ever done one before?
In high school, but not since then, no.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So would you want the Broadway directors to be reaching out to you as well,
bringing absolutely.
you in for some stuff?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll just have to get over, not wanting to live in New York. But
Why?
Why do I not want to live in New York?
Now you go from South Carolina
yes.
to Atlanta.
Yes.
Now Atlanta's not fast
right.
at all, but it's fast enough.
Yes.
What is it about New York that is just like,
it's cold,
It's, not as much as you would think.
Uh-huh.
Because a lot of times the weather ends up mimicking ours, but when it's hot there, it's hot.
Yeah, I've been in the summer. Yeah.
Atlanta's a different kind of hot.
That's true.
Yeah. New York is a place you gotta have a fan in your face, or your face is going to melt.
No, I agree.
Off.
I agree.
With or without makeup, that face is gonna melt. But what else about?
And I like to drive.
You can drive up there.
I mean, it's not convenient there with all the traffic. And then where do you park your car? I feel like most apartments they don't have garages for real.
They don't. And then the weird thing, they have these weird bumper guards on the front and the back of the car because people are always hitting people. Yeah. Okay. So I can get with that.
But LA will be seeing me in the near future for sure.
Live as a resident
or
a visitor?
Yes. Oh, resident. I visit enough. Yeah.
Oh, so you have to hit
as a resident. That's
you would live in LA.
Oh yes, I will live in LA.
You know what? My excuse for New York, because I have friends that live in New York, and then there were opportunities that presented themselves in LA years ago, and it was a conversation. But my main thing then was the pricing, the cost of living.
Yeah.
I'm I don't want to spend $5 for gas.
Yeah, it's so much.
But rent
$2,000
and things like that, they're high everywhere.
They are, yeah.
Atlanta is almost on that East and West Coast spectrum of pricing. That's crazy.
It's very expensive.
Are you gonna take your accounting job out there?
I mean, if I have to initially to fund my life, then yes.
See, I'm glad you said that. Now, there are a lot of people out here that want to do things in their career, and they feel that them having a job while they're pursuing this is an issue or it's something to be ashamed of. But for you, you go to work every day.
Every day.
But you're still pursuing your passion.
Yes.
How important is that for you?
Oh, it's absolutely important. Like right now, it's necessary because in order for me to maintain the lifestyle and things that I do, I need that full-time job right now. Until I'm making enough through music to fully sustain me, I'm not letting go of that job. Granted, that means, yes, I have to stay up late some nights to rehearse or whatever I have to do. Or weekends, I'm pretty much dedicated to music. But this is a sacrifice I have to make in order to make sure that I'm okay, you know?
And to you dreamers and creatives out
Yeah.
there, look at that job, that 9 to 5, as the silent investor that you need.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Because that is what funds this right now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for the people out there that may not have had the opportunity to watch The Voice, as they watch this conversation and get to know you.
Yes.
What are some things that you want them to know moving forward?
About me?
Yes.
If they haven't watched the show, what should they know about me? Just at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, I'm really simple. I just want to sing. I just want to make people feel good, or whatever emotion I'm singing about. I want the listener to feel that and fully feel it. And I just want to have a good time, you know? It don't take much to please me.
Now, there were 2 quotes. One from John, one from Reba.
Okay.
Regarding your voice. Do you remember them?
Reba says something along the lines, I have a voice that just makes people feel good,
Yes.
I believe.
That was one.
John...
When you
Was it
sang
the
song.
battle?
No.
It was the blind audition?
I'm going to get it.
Okay.
I'm going to pull it up. Because I was looking at it today and I said, yes, I remember that.
I remember the quote from my battle after I remember that quote.
Uh-oh, where is it at? I had it. What I loved about the performance is you created moments by being creative with your melody.
Okay, yes.
Making the song
Yeah.
your own.
Yeah.
And because of that, people will remember that.
Yeah.
And because of that, people will remember you in life. So being creative, see, that is your life.
Yeah, literally.
See, John just
Come
gave
on,
you
John.
something. See,
Let
I
it be a blessing
appreciate that.
to you. Yes.
So where can people find you on social media, and what do we have to look forward to from everything that you're going to be working on? So.
Okay, so my name on social media is at the Ronnie Wilson. That's pretty much across all social media platforms. In the future, be on the lookout for a single coming really soon, as well as an EP. I'm very excited about that because I haven't released original music yet. People have always been asking, like, when are you going to do it? I'm like, eventually. One day I'll do it. Well, that day is this year.
That
very
day,
soon.
yeah, coming soon.
It's coming soon.
Stay tuned, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
excited.
So, you said social media, so that's
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook,
Instagram,
TikTok,
everything.
Twitter.
The Ronnie Wilson. Yes.
Where are you most active? Which social media platform?
Right now, Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, Instagram most active.
Okay. So, guys, this was a great conversation, and I enjoyed this. I learned a lot about you.
Yeah.
And a lot about what I need to know about self. We'll talk about that type of stuff later. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another conversation of BLK Talk. Ronnie, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now when you have that party for that Emmy, that Grammy,
Yes.
that Oscar, that
The
Tony,
EGOT, come on.
even if I'm not able to make all of them,
Yeah.
I expect to be on that
will
invite
be
list.
there. The invite
okay?
will be there.
Because it's going to happen. So guys,
Yes.
make sure you pay attention to this face because you've seen it on TV, okay, and that's not the only place that you're going to see it. Make sure you guys get in now. Support. Thanks again, Ronnie, for joining us
Thank
today.
you for
on
having
BLK
me.
Talk.